as we explore Unit 33, UK Culture. We're going beyond the famous landmarks to look at the authentic, everyday reality of life in the United Kingdom.
So the real question we're asking is this. Beyond the royal family and parliament, what is daily UK life actually like? It's a great question because, we so often get stuck on the surface-level symbols of a country. But what do British citizens really do all year? What are they eating on a random Tuesday? And how do they handle schooling for their kids? Let's get into it.
Section 1. Celebrating Special Days.
Okay, let's see how a typical year of festivities maps out. Starting in the chill of late winter, we have Valentine's Day on February 14th. Then, as spring rolls around, we hit Easter. And naturally, those dates shift a bit from year to year. By autumn, things get pretty lively. You've got Halloween on October 31st, which is followed almost immediately by a very uniquely British event on November 5th, Bonfire Night. Finally, the year wraps up on December 31st with New Year's Eve. Or, if you happen to be up in Scotland, you'll be ringing in what they distinctively call Hogmanay.
But what actually goes down on these days? Well, for Valentine's Day, it's pretty standard. People send cards to their partners. When Easter hits, it's all about the kids getting chocolate Easter eggs. Halloween is exactly what you'd expect, dressing up, knocking on doors, and asking for sweets. But then we get to Bonfire Night. This is a massive tradition where whole communities gather around a giant bonfire and set off fireworks in the freezing November air. It is literally a blast. And to cap it all off, New Year's Eve is all about singing, dancing, and toasting to the year ahead.
Now, you really can't talk about the UK calendar without understanding what a bank holiday is. Simply put, it's a day when most organizations are closed. So think about all that singing and dancing on New Year's Eve. Well, January 1st, New Year's Day, is perfectly set up as a bank holiday. It gives pretty much everyone in the country a guaranteed, much-needed day to rest and recover.
Section 2. Traditional and modern food. This is where we see a really fantastic cultural contrast. On the one hand, you have your classic expectations for British food. We're talking hearty fish and chips or a traditional Sunday dinner featuring roast beef and crispy roast potatoes fresh out of the oven. But fast forward to modern reality, a massively popular dish in the UK today is actually chicken tikka masala. Our source explicitly notes that this is a kind of curry that originated in India. It has absolutely taken over as a national favorite, which just goes to show how global influences have totally reshaped everyday domestic life there.
Speaking of those traditional meals, there's one item that constantly confuses people. Let's clear this up with the precise definition. A Yorkshire pudding is a dish made of flour, milk, and eggs, and it's almost always served right alongside that roast beef. Because it has the word pudding in it, a lot of folks just assume it's a sweet dessert. But if you look at those ingredients, you'll see it's actually a savory, bread-like addition cooked in the oven. It is an absolute must-have for a proper Sunday roast, and definitely not a sugary treat.
Section 3. The education system.
Let's walk through a British child's educational journey because it's highly structured. At the very beginning, from ages 2 to 4, little ones attend nursery school. Once they hit 5, they move up to primary school, and that takes them all the way through age 11. After that, from ages 12 right up to 18, they're in secondary school. So it's a very clear, organized pathway that maps out those formative years.
Now, within that overall system, there is a critical distinction when it comes to funding. A state school means parents do not pay for their children to go there. It's a free education provided by the government. On the flip side, a private school means parents do pay out of pocket for their kids to attend. Grasping this simple difference is totally key to understanding how schooling is discussed and navigated by families in the UK.
Section 4. Politics and the Crown.
Okay, let's zoom out to the macro level. The UK's national governance really rests on 3 foundational pillars, and they are distinctly separated. First up, you have the royal family, which features a king or a queen. Obviously, it's a highly visible, iconic institution. But when it comes to actual day-to-day governance, we have to look at the other 2 pillars. The Houses of Parliament is where the actual political decisions are debated and made. And guiding that entire process is the Prime Minister, who serves as the active political leader of the country. So there's a very clear structural divide here. The royal family represents the ceremonial crown, while Parliament and the Prime Minister handle the real political decision-making power.
And that brings us to the end of this explainer. Before we wrap up, I want to leave you with a quick question to chew on. Which part of authentic UK culture surprised you the most? I mean, whether it was the explosive community fun of Bonfire Night, the fact that chicken tikka masala is a massive national staple, or just how clearly the school ages map out. It just goes to show there is always so much more to a culture than its famous postcards. Keep exploring, stay curious, and I'll catch you in the next explainer.